Only in Ferguson. The guy pointing his assault rifle at protesters and journalists is a policeman.
What do you do? Stop pointing it!
He raised it when someone asked him his name. He lowers it, reluctantly, at the urging of his colleague. The protesters, stealing a line that normally belongs to the police, put the gun down. Among law enforcement last night there was anxiety and confusion. There are now at least 3 forces policing the protests. There was no tear gas, but they used mace against individuals in the crowd. We're not sure why. Officers chased down protesters, even as their superiors told them to fall back.
They're being told to fall back, but they're not stopping. Police have chased a couple of men down the street, and you can see the police are in a pretty agitated state.
All commercial media need to get back to the designated area immediately.
We became sealed in with the protests and had to lower our camera when one very angry young man threatened that if we shot another frame, he'd take us out. He then smashed someone else's camera.
I wrote a song today. It was for my people, for my people.
But that's not the full story. For much of the night, the protests were peaceful. The mood was positive. Protesters walking the street, remembering Michael Brown, demanding justice by tweeting, Instagramming it all out on their smartphones and tablets. Their ability to do that defined in part by this very ordinary-looking guy who took to the streets himself yesterday. St. Louis native Jack Dorsey is the billionaire co-founder of Twitter.
No.
No, you're not chatting?
I have my microphone and done.
Okay, so we need to look you up online. Okay.
I'm there. I'm easy to find.
Okay. Jack Dorsey's online contributions, just one example of how social media has organised and amplified what's happening in Ferguson in an unprecedented way in the US.
Social media is directly responsible for why you see so many people out here, why you see people talking about Michael Brown in different cities across America and across the world.
Yeah.
It gets it out instantly.
There was instant news of another killing late yesterday. Shockingly, a second young black man shot dead by police only a few miles from Ferguson, inside the St. Louis city limits. Police say he was armed with a knife. Unlike in Ferguson, after the killing of Michael Brown, the St. Louis Metropolitan Police this time gave their account of the circumstances in quick time.
Suspect moved towards the passenger, the police officer that was in the passenger seat of the vehicle, at which time he came within 3 to 4 feet of the officer, and the officer shot. Both officers fired their weapons, striking the suspect, and the suspect is deceased.
But we won't be quiet until justice is served.
This is a time for transparency. The community demands nothing less. In the case of Michael Brown, a grand jury was convened this morning, finally, under tight security and restrained protest. One state senator warning that if the white police officer Darren Wilson is not charged, these recent riots will seem like a picnic.